Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns come face-to-face tonight on SmackDown. We've also got AEW title changes and the WWE Slammy Awards. That's all right now on In This Very Ring.
I can't believe it! Yes! Yes! The Rock is going to WrestleMania! Randy in position for another curb stop. Over there! Oh, unbelievable counter! Oh, my God! Unbelievable!
Welcome in, everybody. My name is Ritz. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And I welcome you to another edition of In This Very Ring. Joining me as he does each and every Friday night, it's the tribal chief of Toasty Town. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Butters.
Woohoo!
Butters, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, my man. How are you today?
Well rested. Well rested. Nah, man,
I would hope so.
I took it. I was telling Butters before he came on the air. I took a nap when I got home from work. I don't normally do that, and normally I do lay down a little bit, but I was out. I woke up just in time for the Roman Cody promo. Perfection. We're gonna get into that in just a second. We want to thank our sponsors, Allen's Travel. Allen's Travel specializes in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts, including yours truly, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Allen's on over to allens-travel.com/take the trip to get in touch with myself or Eagles Talks, Chuck Moranin. We can get started planning your next magical vacation as early as tonight. All right. I mentioned it right before we did the sponsor read. That promo with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns was amazing. It's the first time, and you and I were talking about this earlier today when we were talking about building the show, putting the show together. As far as I can remember, ever since Cody won the Royal Rumble and called out Roman right after that, after the match, I think this is the first time it has just been Cody and Roman in the ring. I can't think of a time where.
Yeah, the press release has been. I think it's the only time they've been in the ring since Rumble.
Because they weren't even by themselves during the press release, and even the night after the Rumble, that SmackDown after the Royal Rumble, you still had the entire Bloodline in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You never had just Cody and Roman, which I think is so huge in this story that we're telling it when it comes to Roman and Cody, and then the tag team match with Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman. I think it was so telling that here we are 2 weeks before WrestleMania. 2 weeks before the biggest WrestleMania of all time. And you're just now getting us to where it's Cody and Roman. We're starting to talk about Sunday now. We're starting to talk about night 2. It leads us into our topic of conversation. WWE has to start putting the focus on the Universal title match rather than the tag team match. Agree, disagree? Butters, I throw it to you to start us off.
So they really do got to start putting focus on the Universal title match. I'm going to agree to the poll. Yes, I get it. The Rock's, he's back. He's in the match. So this is going to be your biggest deal. But in my opinion, your biggest deal is going to be night 2. Finish the story or go home. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. Are we ending this streak? Are we ending Roman's reign? This is to me a lot bigger than night 1 tag match. You need to start putting a lot more focus on this match. You need to have them, these one-on-ones, these meet and greets, so to speak, on Raw, SmackDown. Put a little more focus before you, because people yes, don't get me wrong, nobody's going to be uninterested, but you're getting people more interested in a tag match than you are the Universal title match.
Well, and I think to some extent, right, it's not even putting more focus on the tag match versus the Universal. I think we've done everything we can to build to that tag match. The build's been great. The Rock has been on SmackDown, a ton. He's going to be on Raw Monday night. His first time on Raw since day one.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've told that story beautifully to where now, okay, we've beaten this to a bloody pulp. Now let's start putting Roman and Cody in these individual scenarios. Because I think on Monday, I don't think we see Cody and Rock go face to face. I think we see Cody and Seth go face to face.
Mm-hmm.
Not Cody and Seth, I'm sorry. Rock and Seth go face to face.
Yeah.
I think you have them continue to build that story while Drew McIntyre is still telling his story with
Seth Rollins.
Thank you. So there's that constant evolution of that tag team match while still building your individual title matches. And now it's really that time to start building towards the Universal title. You did a great job tonight. The promo was phenomenal. You touched on the tag team match because the tag team, the Universal title match isn't going to happen without the tag team match happening. Right? How that Universal title match plays out is strongly dictated based on what happens in that tag team match. Is it Bloodline rules? Is the Bloodline barred from ringside? Those are key. But then you focused on the fact that Roman, on Sunday, it is just me and you. Right? That was so huge. It was so pivotal. And then fast forward to the end of that promo where Cody goes for the handshake, says, good luck. Roman gets out of the ring. Roman snaps his fingers, and then all of a sudden, there's Solo and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
They're now ringside. They don't circle the ring, but they come from the announcer's side, and they walk up and they meet Roman at the front. And then Roman starts looking around, and he realizes that, and I think there was a miscue in the timing for the music. I think just a small little miscue. Because there was nothing that gave away Roman looking to his left or his right, where he catches Jay and Seth Rollins in the crowd right there.
Yeah.
But that transition was so smooth. Oh my God, it was so smooth. From Roman's music to Cody's music, it was like normally you hear like a distinctive pause. It was like they had a DJ back there blending it together. That's how clean it sounds. Dynasty chiming in. What's up, guys? LOL. First time in a while I'm not popping in at the end. What's going on, buddy? Brad's over here. I think Cody will take the belt off Roman Reigns and Roman's streak will end. I agree as well with that statement, Brad. I think it is time for Roman to he did his duty. Right? Now it is time for him to take some time off, go do other things, get ready for the Rock match that you're eventually going to have. Okay. But you did such a good job tonight saying, hey, Universal title is it's there, it's everything. And now, while still saying, hey, we still have that tag team match. I think it was so well done.
Yep.
Did you catch the promo?
Unfortunately, I did not. I totally missed the promo. That the one thing I was literally wanting to watch SmackDown for, and I missed the whole damn thing.
So let me ask you another question, though. Like based on the promo and SmackDown and everything, you finished the last like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 SmackDowns with a segment with your main event, your WrestleMania main event. A combination of those 4 guys in the ring in some capacity. How do you feel about SmackDown ending on these segment notes?
It's getting a little old.
But is it Is it?
Don't get me wrong. I get that you're trying to focus on your main event, or should I say main events?
Right.
But at the same time, why can't we do this at the beginning of the show, the middle of the show? You know, I kind of would like to see SmackDown end in a match every once in a while.
I think that you got to end on a note, right? Like just a hard hitting.
There's plenty of other matches on that card you could end SmackDown on.
Well, I don't disagree with that statement, right? I do think SmackDown has some high. I'm not taking away from.
I'm talking about the WrestleMania card. There's plenty of matches on the WrestleMania card that you could build up to end SmackDown on that note.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I don't disagree with that statement. I think so you start out SmackDown tonight. Let's take tonight as a great example. You start out SmackDown tonight with Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. That's a match that a lot of people wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I don't know. I have to go look at the timing, right? Dominic does show up and he, back from his honeymoon, he helps out Escobar, which nobody saw coming. Very interesting move to bring him and rope him back in.
I smell WrestleMania 39 rematch. I smell retirement match.
I don't think we're going to get a rematch. You're not going to. It makes no sense to pivot to Rey and Dominic.
Dominic. I mean, it gives Dom something to do at Mania. It lets Rey Mysterio retire. Santos Escobar gets what he wants in Rey being gone.
Right.
Santos wants Rey gone. Who better than for his own son to give him, Santos and, Dom could have something, a deal worked out in the back that we don't know about. And, you set up for a match for WrestleMania 40, one of the biggest WrestleManias, potentially of all time. You set up a huge match in Rey versus Dom 2, but, Rey retires if he loses.
And I'm right here with Dynasty on this, right? He agrees 100%, but you can't do that in the 2-week time that we have. And I think that's the biggest kicker here, right?
You have Raw.
But hold on, let's back up for a second. I think at the core of this, it's such a detriment to Escobar. It just says everything that you've been doing with Legado versus LWO. Hey, you really don't matter at the end of the day, man. We're still going to call in the guy who's in another faction on another show who hasn't even smelled this program. We're going to call him in to wrestle the Hall of Famer, right? I think that's the part where I have such a hang up on it. And while, yes, on paper, Rey versus Dominic 2 at WrestleMania, a retirement match, could go off really, really well. I don't think you're right now in this moment, 2 weeks before WrestleMania, when Rey just came back, he just had a match with Santos. That thing's not over. I think ultimately the match at WrestleMania is LWO versus Legado del Fantasma in some capacity. Right? If anything, it's Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus Dominic and Santos. Or because we know that Legado's in they're in that 6-man scramble, aren't they? I mean, that 6-team scramble.
I don't think they are.
I thought because somebody's in the stand and deliver match. Somebody's in the
I think LWO's in the stand and deliver match.
And I think the what are the guys called? Man alive.
Legado del Fantasma?
Yeah.
That's what they're calling themselves right now, so
No, they are not in that match. I thought they were.
Let's see.
They're not. So yeah, you could still do LWO because right now it's Judgment Day, DIY, Awesome Truth versus the New Day. And we had those matches tonight. We get that.
Let's see. You had Waller in theory advance to the next round.
Well, no, there's no advancing. You win and you're in.
I thought it was
you win and you're in.
Let me see. Hold on.
Because it was Authors of Pain versus Street Profits, and then Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
So Theory and Waller defeated the OC, and then the Street Profits defeated AOP.
Yeah. I'm trying to find this. Like, yeah, dead gummit, man.
Yeah, see, Brian's even saying Raw was win and you're in.
Yeah, Raw was win, you're in. I think SmackDown. Yeah, see, they're doing a tournament style.
Okay. Which is what's so confusing about this is they're doing one side's doing the win and you're in, the other one's doing the tournament style. Okay. But nobody has the next round of that, which is so infuriating to me.
It really is, because it just happened. You'd think people would have something up.
Because DIY is a Raw team.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Truth is a Raw team. New Day is a Raw team. And we knew that Raw was getting 3 teams. So Raw has their 3 teams. SmackDown will I guess next week we'll figure out the last 2.
Let's see. So Theory and Waller defeats the OC with a roll-up to advance in a tournament to qualify for the tag team title 6-pack ladder match.
SmackDown tag team.
And Street Profits defeat the Author of Pain. They'll face Theory and Waller next week. Winners qualify for the tag title match at Mania.
Say that again.
Street Profits will take on Theory and Waller next week to determine who's in.
And who do Grayson and
the Street Profits?
So where's the other team coming from?
Well, that was for this week's SmackDown. I have no idea about the other team. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
This is what's so frustrating. All right, so WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championship, SmackDown.
We'll do it this way.
All right. Okay, hold on. On the SmackDown side, 2 teams will be decided in a tournament with teams like Legado del Fantasma and New Catch Republic already advancing to the second round. Which 2 SmackDown teams will complete the field? Check back here in the following weeks to find out. So let's go from there to there to there. Okay, we know that they don't have do they have the results up yet? Yeah. All right, hold on. That's a video. I don't want to watch that. I need whatever happened to here's your written out results. All right, so hold on. We know that it's Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And we know it's Street Profits. We know it's I'm so saying Dynasty Legado, and I think Pretty Deadly won their match too.
No, New Catch Republic did. Pretty Deadly lost.
I just said New Catch. I'm an idiot. All right, so out of those 4 teams, I think Legado loses. Okay, let's just say it's Legado versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, or even Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have to be New Catch, because I think that
here we go. Nope, that's not the.
I think it's New Catch versus Legado next week.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And New Catch advances. Legado loses due to LWO interference. I think that it's Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory advance due to Final Testament interference, which sets up for, I heard they're calling themselves the Pride now.
Yeah.
The Pride versus Final Testament at WrestleMania, and I think we get LWO versus Legado at WrestleMania. One multi-man match, one faction versus faction match on each night. I think that will work out really, really well. And that'll round out your 6-man field. That'll round out the SmackDown side of things. Okay. I think that's the best route that they take with that. But you don't end SmackDown on either one of those tag team matches. Right? And then you have Naomi versus Io Sky. The only thing that comes out of this Naomi Io Sky match is Bianca Belair running down and kind of joining this fray of Bianca, Naomi, Bayley versus Damage Control, which could be setting up for Naomi and Bianca to go after the tag titles at WrestleMania.
Very well could be.
Right? Versus the Kabuki Warriors. We know that Jade Cargill makes her first appearance on SmackDown next week.
Yep.
So we're building this interesting web, right? Which there's a small part of me that says Jade's first opponent is Tiffany Stratton.
Poor Tiffy.
As a callback to Tiffy coming in right before Elimination Chamber when Jade was meeting with Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
I think just to give her something first, just to see how she does. I think that's that little, here you go, do this, and then whatever. But I don't think you end anything on like these last couple of SmackDowns. You don't end anything other than these segments. To kind of come back to what we were talking about. I'm okay with you ending on the segments because it punches home. There's a comment up here earlier. I wanted to. Where was it? Dynasty says he'll take it over a nothing match. Honestly, been missing the cliffhanger promos, and that's the key. All of these promos, other than tonight, have really ended with everybody going, "What?"
Well, I mean, if The Rock wouldn't go over time.
No, but that's good.
Not always.
I think last week it worked because
last week it worked with the slap, but
what Dynasty and I are both trying to say here is, I'll take a cliffhanger ending, even if The Rock goes over on time. It creates a cliffhanger ending, right? Versus these matches where, yeah, they're good matches, but they're nothing that I would want to write home to at the end of SmackDown. Like, oh man, did you see how they ended SmackDown with Bayley and Naomi and Bianca Belair standing tall over Damage Control? We all saw that coming 6 weeks ago when Damage Control turned on Bayley. We all immediately saw, because of what show they're on and who you have in the women's division on that show. We saw that part coming. When it comes to the tag matches, okay, he advances into the next round. Cool. That's your 8 o'clock hour show. If you were going to do anything, if you were going to end it anyway, the only match tonight I would say, hey, end it with that, would be the Rey Mysterio Santos match, because you had Dominic come out. And you can end it with, what is Dominic doing here? But that's the only match you could give me. But even then,
set up Dom Ray too.
No. That's what I'm saying though. Even then, yeah, Dominic shows up to get involved, but I don't see Dominic
calling it now. Retirement match, Dom Ray 2.
And you can die on that hill, and that's okay. I think you're silly for it, and I think and all right, rephrase that. I don't think you're silly for it. I think WWE is silly for it if they go that route.
Oh, they go in there.
That's great.
My words.
Okay, that's fine. But I think they're silly for it because what you and anybody else that agrees with that notion, what you guys are failing to realize, you've done such an amazing job with Santos these last 4 months that, you know, Ray's been gone and continuing this LWO versus Legado storyline. And it all has to come to a head at WrestleMania. And yet you're going to take the de facto leader of LWO in Rey Mysterio, and you're going to put him in a match with somebody who has absolutely nothing to do with Legado or LWO.
All it takes is a handshake.
But okay, so you're going to tell me that Santos, this guy who has preached that he is the next best thing for Lucha Libre Wrestling, he's going to go shake the hand of Rey Mysterio's son. Hey, go take care of your dad for me.
Hey.
Do you listen to yourself sometimes?
Judgment Day's done goofy things.
No, but
he now owes them a favor.
It's dumb because they're never going to cash in on that favor, right? Now, I will pause that whole conversation. This whole thing with Andrade, right? How does Andrade fit into that? Maybe you could weave that route. But again, we're doing this 2 weeks before. You have 4 shows if you were to pull double duty with Raw and SmackDown. I'm sorry, but there is absolutely no way you can get me invested in Dominic versus Rey Mysterio 2, even if you call it Rey's retirement match.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't all right, fine. You want to pull the wool over Santos's head? Fine. Okay. Sure. I don't agree with it. I think you're ruining talent that you built up. But then you're going to take somebody who's been with your company for 2 decades, right? Who has revolutionized the world of professional wrestling from the Lucha Libre style, the Luchador style, right? That whole Hispanic community of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to say, hey, in 2 weeks, here's your retirement match. Good luck. That's your build? I'm sorry, man. Like, even you have to admit that's doing Ray dirty.
But what if Ray wanted it?
I get it. But I can't imagine Rey Mysterio saying, hey, in 2 weeks, I'm going to come back, he came back last week before.
Something like that, yeah.
So he came back, let's say he came back 2 weeks ago. Last week they had their little tiff or whatever, setting up for this week. You gave him the start of the night spot, had a good match, which we expected them to have.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have Dominic come out to build this retirement bit. It's the most BS story.
I get what you're saying. I just,
Right, and I think that's where I'm so hung up on it is I don't hate the idea of Dominic and Ray going at it again for Ray's retirement, which probably should have happened last year, if I'm being honest with you. I don't hate that, but I don't think you're giving it enough time. Right?
All these other matches are gave much time to the build up for Ray versus Dom last year.
Oh, you're insane. Are you kidding me? That had months of build up. That had the problem was if you weren't watching the .com exclusives, like when Dom and Rhea would go to the Mysterio's house for the holidays or whatnot, then it didn't care. You had to watch the supplemental stuff. You had to. If you weren't doing that, then yeah, okay, that I can see where it didn't make a lot of sense. Okay. So it's just a tough one there. Just a really, really big tough one there. Because all these other matches are going to come together over the next 2 weeks, but we've been building towards them. We've been setting up for these different spots, right? We've been setting up for if they do Final Testament versus the Pride, if they do LWO versus Legado, right? Because I'm looking at we've got the only match we know for night 1 is the tag team match. The only 2 matches we know for night 2 are the title matches. Everything else hasn't fallen into place, and you've only got 7 other matches on the card. Split them up. We're still missing 2 or 3 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because, next week we're going to do our where does this match, if they haven't already, laid out the card, that's what we're going to do for next week. We're going to lay out which match goes where. Dynasty says, that's the thing, Rich. These ending promo segments get you talking excited about the next show rather than a match you'll probably forget about in a week. I agree. Don says, random thought, seeing the Iron Claw yesterday, good movie, had me teary-eyed. So I just found out that it's on Amazon. Because we kept talking about, hey, let's go one night after we do the show.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go watch it. But there'd never be a showing after we get done the show because we want to watch it together. So I just recently found out it was on Amazon because one of the guys at work actually came up to me and asked me if I'd seen it. So probably WrestleMania weekend, because I took that Saturday of night one off. I might put it on after Stand and Deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Because Butters is going to be at the house all day. Silent Hill's going to be here. We're going to be getting ready for the night. So I might put it on then and watch it then. Or it could be on Max too. Either one. It's on a streaming service. Put it that way. Right? All right. Let's kind of shift gears a little bit. I don't want to shift away from WWE. We were going to do this more towards the end of the show, but I want to shift gears a little bit. We're going to bring this up here. We're going to talk about the Slammy Awards. Because they were announced earlier today that they're actually going to do the Slammies live on April 7th during the day at WrestleMania World, or WWE World, or whatever we're calling it right now. And so Butters and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to do our votes with you. Okay, so we're going to go through these, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. We're not going to have long, drawn debates on it. We might, right? But we still want to talk about the title changes on AEW. We're going to kind of close the show out with that. But let's get into this right now. Female Superstar of the Year. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Io Sky, Becky Lynch.
Rhea Ripley, 100% all the way.
I think this one's really easy to say that it's Rhea. Because she's been champion for so long. She's been dominant for so long, right? It's a really tough call to say. Bianca hasn't done much this year. Bayley's moment didn't come till 2024. Io's title run always felt like such an afterthought to the whole damage control thing. And while Becky, yes, prominent, Becky had her time in NXT. She kind of, it was there. So I think Rhea's such an easy pick here. Now, the male superstar of the year. Sorry, I'm bouncing back and forth between different Chrome tabs. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Gunther, Logan Paul.
Easy one here. Cody Rhodes.
You think so? Why?
It's Cody. Between all the work he's done inside the ring, outside the ring, his storylines as of late, Cody Rhodes 100%. Screw Roman.
See, I would almost go Gunther or Cody here. Because Gunther had a great 2024. Those matches with Chad Gable were great. Everything Gunther did mattered, and you were watching it, and your eyes were glued to it. Now, do I ultimately think it's going to be Cody or Roman, like Dynasty says here? And Todd Womack's chimed in. He's hanging out in the chat now. He agrees with me on Gunther as well. Don Don's got Roman too. When I do it for me, like my non-show vote, I will go Gunther, unless chat. What do you guys think? My screens are over here. So far, we've got 2 for Gunther. Dynasty's got Roman. Not Roman. Sorry, Don Don's got Roman. Butters, you got Cody. What do you guys think? Should we go Gunther? Should we go Cody? I'm waiting to see somebody chiming in here. You're going Cody. I mean, because you did it. You've already done your personal one.
Yes.
Right? And you went Cody. Dynasty's got Gunther, man. I think we got to go with the chat. We got to go Gunther on this one. I think it's either going to be Cody or Roman. But if we really wanted to sit down and break this down, I think the real answer is Gunther. Right? But, Dynasty says it right here. The Cave Fam answer is Cody. And Butters chimed in the chat to give himself his own vote. All right, we're gonna go with Gunther on that. Okay. All right. The next one, best entrance.
Does it really have to be said?
Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, The Rock, Dominic's WrestleMania 39 entrance.
Wow, they're really digging deep with that one.
Don. Butters, get out of here.
No.
Well, if you go back to WrestleMania, though, when we think about the entrances from WrestleMania last year, hands down, Dominic had the best entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down, he had the best entrance. I think Cody's has the best fan interaction, right? We got to experience that last Monday night when we were at Raw in Houston. Seth's is good, but Seth has always had a big one. From, they've been singing this song forever. The Burn It Down, his song, yeah, okay, fine. Bianca, hers is just good music, right? The music's good. Becky's has been the same Becky entrance that we've seen for years.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley's, I think if you would have told me her Rhea Ripley Australia entrance, I think I would have been more prone to be like, oh yeah, that one. If we're talking about The Rock's new entrance, though,
you
don't like The Rock's new entrance?
No.
Why?
I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Are you kidding me?
It's meh.
That lightning is incredible. And I think it's also like The Rock has had the same cut and dry, copy-paste entrance that he's had since 1998. The music hits, he walks down to the ring, he goes up to the one post, raises his hand up into the air, and all right, cool. This one where it does the if you smell, and then the lightning starts cracking. I thought that lightning was such an incredible addition, and then the one spotlight, right? Like you see him kind of walking out, like they're figuring out the timing a little bit because he's either walking out when the lightning's hitting or he's right there when the lightning's hitting. But as soon as that spotlight hits, it's The Rock.
Yeah.
So I think that one is really, really cool, right? If we had to narrow the field down, Cody or The Rock, right? I think Cody. I think I'm gonna go Cody, but I gotta give. You got to give The Rock's entrance, the proper respect that it deserves. Well, because it sure ain't Roman's.
Boo.
Right? Roman's takes longer than the Undertaker's entrance ever did. Like, I'm convinced they better give him like a car or something for WrestleMania, or like that's gonna be a long walk. All right, where's entrance of the year? How is it not?
You got to hit next, Goober. Scroll to the bottom.
So I didn't have to on the last two. I could just click on the next box, right? It was actually there for me to click on. All right, so guys, let's ask: Cody or The Rock? I think I know what the chat's gonna go with, but I at least want to give them the opportunity.
Cody,
Dynasty, Todd,
Cody.
Butters over here chanting for Cody. Yeah, Don brought that up a couple weeks ago too. It gives Black Adam vibes, which I think is so. what makes it so appealing is that it's a callback to, you know, stuff that he's done throughout his entire career. Dynasty says it's Dom, and that wouldn't surprise me if they give it to Dom, because that's such a reach, right? And they've been promoting it on social media. They've been running his entrance back a lot on social media lately. I've seen it a couple different times on Instagram. So I think the kayfabe answer, like Dynasty was talking about earlier, is Dominic Mysterio. I think for this we're gonna go Cody though.
Yeah.
Try to make yours different than what you did personally.
Sure.
Like let it be a little fun.
Sure.
All right, this one is a no-brainer. This one is, if anybody picks anything different, we're gonna have a conversation.
Nia Jax.
That's the dumbest one on here. Return of the year: CM Punk, The
Done.
Rock, Nia Jax. Well, we have a podcast platform as well, so can you let me get through the things, because these people can't see it if they're listening to it back. Return of the year: CM Punk, The Rock,
Done.
Nia Jax. Stop it! Jesus.
No.
Return of the year: CM Punk, The Rock, Nia Jax, Randy Orton, Naomi.
Third time's the charm.
Enough. The Nia Jax one. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Right? Like, you want to feel bad, but at the same time, like, come on. Like, and the same thing with Naomi. Right? Don't get me wrong. Naomi's entrance at the Royal Rumble was surprising. Right? But when you have CM Punk, when you have Randy Orton, right? The Rock's okay. Yeah, it was surprised. I think I was more surprised that The Rock started to do a schedule, right? Him showing up on day one and you know, these little sporadic appearances. Okay. But The Rock doing a week to week is more surprising to me than anything else. And I would have told you, go ahead.
So you could have almost gone Randy Orton had CM Punk not come out and overshadowed everything.
That was my next line. That was my absolutely next line. I mean, so it's hands down CM Punk.
Yep. Done.
Stop it. All right. Oh my God. Moment of the year. I'm sorry. Faction of the. All right. Hold on. I'm going by what it gives me when I hit next. So we're going to scroll down here. Oh my God. Moment of the year. Rey Mysterio punches Dirty Dominic. That was SmackDown 3/24/23. CM Punk's return to WWE Survivor Series 2023. Io Sky cashing in the Money in the Bank contract at SummerSlam. The Rock slapping Cody Rhodes at the press conference. Damage Control turns on Bayley February of 24. Or Cody slapping The Rock 3 weeks ago on SmackDown.
Easily CM Punk.
Yeah. And this is where it's like, okay, return of the year, and then oh my God, moment of the year. Like, it's pretty much the same question.
Yep.
Right? I don't know if I would have included CM Punk on that list. Like, I would have omitted him from one of the lists. Right? But we'll go, where's CM Punk? There he is. All right, next poll. Breakout Superstar of the Year. This one I'm excited for. If I can get back to... Aha. Jey Uso, Tiffany Stratton, Pretty Deadly, Dragon Lee, or L.A. Knight. Yeah.
So this one was a tough one for me.
Okay.
You know, I had two superstars in mind because these two superstars were also on another one that I basically picked opposite for these two, you know.
Okay.
So I can't remember, you know, exactly which one I picked for which one, but personally, breakout superstar of the year to me should either be Tiffany Stratton or LA Knight.
I have to go Tiffany Stratton here. No disrespect to LA Knight because I love LA Knight and what he's done, but he went really really mega hot, and then as soon as he had his match with Roman, he cooled off faster than anybody I've ever seen.
That's WWE dunking him in water and wait until he cools, because
I don't know if it was necessarily intentional, right? I think
it was a necessary evil. Otherwise, it would have ruined any plans they had.
Yeah, like they had these plans and they were great and it was awesome, and I don't know if they were fully ready for LA Knight to take off the way that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side of that, be like, all right, well, we have not no desire. We have no plans to put the title on LA, right? Everybody knows he's going to lose. Everything that they did, I think, was always the original plan. But you went from pinnacle of the mountaintop, going against Roman, walking out during Roman's entrance, which still to this day is the best thing ever, right? I gotta go Tiffany Stratton, but then Dynasty says here LA Knight only because Tiffany's only been on the main event roster since the Rumble, and I look here. All right, so I'll give it to LA Knight because there's NXT Superstar of the Year, and I can give it to Tiffany there. I think she is the NXT Superstar of the Year, hands down.
Wait, who's all on that one?
Dragunov, Mello, Lyra, Tiffany, Braun.
Oh yeah, you give it to Tiffy easy.
All right, so let's go give this to LA Knight because Jay had a good year. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if it was necessarily his breakout year because he had breakout years.
Yeah, this wasn't a breakout year for Jay. Sorry, Jay.
All right, Social Star of the Year. All right, I hate that it does this. Jesus. Grayson Waller, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Chelsea Green, or Liv Morgan. You have to do that.
Chelsea, easy.
Think so? Why?
I don't know. She's her online moments, her offline moments, she's probably been a lot more, even though, she's in Karen mode, but she's been a lot more social than a lot of these others. Don't get me wrong.
So Don, Drew's Twitter's been great, but Drew's Twitter's only been good the last couple of weeks. It annoys me to no nth degree to say this answer, but this is one where I'll give it to Logan Paul. I'll absolutely give it to Logan Paul because he has one of the most punchable faces in professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And
Don Callis Jr.
Yeah, almost. And he's used his platform to not only propel himself, but also propel the programs that he's in. Whereas Drew just recently started being funny on Twitter. It was really with the CM Punk injury. Right? And Grayson Waller kind of fell off on social media. This to me is a toss-up between Logan and Chelsea. And I think for this, you almost have to give it to Logan here. Come on. Work for me, damn it. All right, so we go Logan. Faction of the Year. Scroll up here. The Judgment Day, Alpha Academy, Imperium, the Bloodline, Damage Control.
Does it really got to be asked? It's number one pick all day long, every day, 24/7 for this set of slammies.
Alpha Academy?
Wrong.
Judgment Day. I think Judgment Day has had a really good year. If you did more with Solo and you did more with Jimmy, away from Roman. If you would have figured out a way to put like the U.S. title on Solo for a little bit, or
even the tag titles on them,
or even the tag titles, I would go more Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to give this to the Judgment Day.
100%.
All right, rivalry of the year. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, Dominic versus Ray, Bianca versus Damage Control, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, R-Truth versus the Judgment Day. I'm going R-Truth versus the Judgment Day. I don't care what you say, Roman versus Cody. I don't care, Seth versus Drew. I don't care, daddy issues. I don't care, Bianca versus Damage Control. This R-Truth versus Judgment Day bit has been phenomenal. And I think it all leads up to Awesome Truth winning the tag titles on WrestleMania in a 6-pack ladder challenge. It's been phenomenal.
It's been awesome. You should have went with that.
Yeah, I like mine better. If they would have included Miz in there, okay. All right. Only because we got to speed it up because we're running out of time here a little bit. NXT Superstar of the Year. We already said we're going to go Tiffany Stratton here. Match of the Year. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest at Backlash. Roman Reigns versus Sammy at Elimination Chamber. Gunther versus Chad Gable on Raw. Asuka, Bianca, Charlotte at SummerSlam. Charlotte versus Rhea at WrestleMania.
Gunther, Chad Gable.
Absolutely.
100% all the way.
Without fail. And we already did Female Superstar of the Year, so I think we're done. Yeah, we covered everything. All right. Those are our Slammy picks. Slammies will be April 7th. I don't think they announced the time, did they?
No, it was during their hoopla events they got going on.
Yeah, but they're going to air it on Peacock, I think, or on their social medias. I know they said they were going to air it. It's the only thing from that weekend actually going on air.
Gotcha.
Which I think will be really cool to watch. I think that it'll be a fun little thing to do on Sunday. I probably won't be able to see it because there's a youth event Sunday afternoon of WrestleMania. So that'll be fun. But all right, let's get into these AEW title changes. And guys, if you haven't already, make sure you're clicking that like, make sure you're clicking that subscribe button. We can't do any of this without the support of you guys, and we appreciate you each and every single week for being here. Yeah, access is at the convention center. It's at the Philadelphia Convention Center. So on AEW, we've got about 5 minutes here. So we're going to do this really quickly. I want to spend a little bit more time on this, but we've got the Slammy stuff. So Edge wins the TNT Championship, and Okada wins the Continental Championship.
Okada, I saw the Okada one coming a mile away.
I don't like it.
You know, it's one step towards the Elite having a bunch of titles in the group.
It only works if the Elite, if you have Matt and Nick go, in my opinion, it only works if you have Matt and Nick go beat Eddie Kingston for the other 2 titles.
I mean,
at that point, that's what I care about.
Yeah.
Because the Continental Championship means nothing to me. Because as soon as it was won, it became part of this Triple Crown Championship. But now that's been dissolved. It's so convoluted.
And apparently Tony said the Continental title, when they have another Continental tournament, I guess it will be on the line in the Continental tournament.
That's dumb. So the Continental title means nothing. That's why you don't put it on somebody like Okada. You gave him a title that means absolutely nothing at the end of the day. But I digress. Whatever. I don't like Okada as a heel. I don't like the Young Bucks little thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
With the whole EVPs. We talked about it. It's dumb.
They're all EVPs. Oh.
Yeah, it's silly.
On to the next one.
Edge winning the TNT Championship.
Spike to the junk. Ugh.
It was a brutal match. But what did you expect when you put two guys that have been friends for decades, right? Have wrestled together, wrestled against each other.
Yep.
Both have been at the mountaintop at different points in their career. What's next though for Edge, right? Are we finally going to see him move away from, these interactions with, Christian and his family or whatever the hell they're calling themselves
The
now?
patriarch.
Yeah, the patriarch, the matriarch, the big giant lucha dragon killer sword thing. Whatever. Who cares?
Edge has announced the Copeland Open or so, however, I don't remember how he calls it. Give me a second, I'll tell you. But he has announced an open challenge. I don't remember if it's on Dynamite or Collision next week.
So KZ says the Young Bucks shtick retired Sting in the best way possible, so it's good for something. And I said those are the only two that could do that match with Sting and make Sting look good. And I put them over at that point, but the rest of it, stop it.
The Cope Open Challenge.
The Cope Open. No, all right, no, we're done. We're done. All right, no, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. No, I'm serious on that. That's the dumbest thing I've heard coming out of a Hall of Famer's mouth. So, all right, guys, that's it for us tonight. We will be back next week. All right, so let's go through this lineup over the next 2 weeks while we have a little bit of time. All right, so next week is March 29th. That is going to be kind of the start of our WrestleMania coverage. If we haven't gotten the match cards yet, if we haven't gotten where matches are falling, we're going to do some predictions on how the night will go right there. We'll also talk SmackDown recaps. The 5th, we're not sure what time we're going live on the 5th because I want to watch the Hall of Fame and I want to hear it. But I do want to go live that night because that's going to be our preview night for WrestleMania. That's going to be strictly preview and predictions. The 6th, we will be live in some capacity. I don't know if we're going to be live on we're going to be live on Facebook and Twitter. We will probably go live on YouTube for the main events for each night because we only have so much time allotted for YouTube. But we'll probably do live on Facebook the whole show, Twitter the whole show, and then only go on YouTube towards the main event. That'll be for the 6th and the 7th. Okay. I don't know if we're going to do any other shows throughout there, trying to figure out with Pete and Chrome what their schedules look like. What are we doing? Different things of that nature. But that's our schedule over the next 2 weeks or so as we get geared up for WrestleMania. I don't know if we're doing a massive roundtable. I don't know if we're doing like we've done in the past. I don't know any of that. I know that when we do our live reactions, we will have a bunch of people here rotating through. We'll be live at downstairs in my house like we were last year, rotating through, getting different opinions on things as the night progresses. Dynasty, no, we are not coming in for WrestleMania. We're gonna be doing it from the house. Things just didn't work out that way this year. I will share it in the Real Talk group, but you can also find us on the main page, the main page, the main HUD page. Okay, so that is it for us tonight, guys. We will see you next week. For Butters, I'm Ritz. Tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We are out of here.